So this whole video game YouTube career of mine has afforded me a ton of perks, and one of the cooler ones is that I've been able to test out a whole bunch of video game accessories, equipment, peripherals, paraphernalia. Sometimes it's sent directly to me from the hardware manufacturers themselves for an unboxing and review. But when I kind of look back, the majority of the stuff that I use today for equipment and just for my gaming enjoyment is actually stuff that I purchased for myself. And I think the reason for that is when I purchase stuff and equipment for the channel or for just general use, I do a lot of research into it. I read up on a ton of reviews before buying anything major. And I'll be honest with you, the stuff that I use on a regular basis is actually kind of expensive. And the way I justify spending money on all this stuff is, first off, it's because it's my job. I run a YouTube channel, so I need all the fancy equipment. I don't need the best, but I do because I'm a guy, and I'll be honest with you, since it's equipment, it's a tax write-off, and I can get back some of the money at the end of the year, so it makes things a little bit easier. But that being said, I find that the majority of stuff that I finally use more often is, like I said, some of the more expensive stuff. And in this video, I thought I would do a luxury gaming video guide. Stuff that I use on a regular basis, stuff that I purchased for myself, but I think stuff that is still, despite how expensive it is, it's still worth the price of admission. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. But before we get started, as always, just for transparency's sake, so everything listed in this video, everything I'm about to show you is stuff that I had personally purchased for myself with my own money. It was not sent to me by any company. I wish, because it would have saved me a ton of money, but this is not a sponsored video. I purchased everything myself, and if you want more information on anything that I'm about to show you, there are Amazon affiliate links in the bottom in the description. And once again, if you use those links, I do get a small percentage of the sale, whatever my Amazon affiliate sale is. So yeah, full transparency is something I always try to stress, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. So I'm going to start this luxury gaming buying guide with sound, because sound to me is just one of the more important parts of video game presentation. And it's just almost as important as the graphics, how many polygons are on the screen at once. And to me, to experience sound in a video game, there's really nothing at the level of having a nice pair of headphones. You can have the best 7.1 surround sound system in the world. In my opinion, it's still nothing as good as having a nice pair of headphones. So these are the headphones that I've been using for about a year and a half now. These are the Sennheiser HD700s. If you've been to any of my live streams, these are the ones that I'm always wearing. Great, I love them. I've been using them, and I just don't want to wear any other type of headphones on the market. And I've tried a lot of them. I've tried ones from AKG, I've tried them from Audio-Technica, and what I find is that these are the most comfortable as well as the best sounding. I like the Sennheiser sound, but it mostly comes down to comfort, because I actually have a fairly large head because I'm Asian, and I have fairly large ears as well. And with those other companies, I find that at the top, it's very constricting. It kind of hurts a bit. And for a couple of their headphones, the ear cups are not nearly as big as I would like them for my ears. They actually kind of squish them a tiny bit. But with these ones, I could wear these gaming for hours on end and have no problems with it. It's just so awesome. It honestly feels like my ears are like resting on a pair of titties on either side. It just feels so good. The only downside to these headphones is that they're not noise canceling. At this price point, you would want noise canceling headphones, but for the most part, I play video games by myself in my room where there is very little noise. And as well, it's important to differentiate between a pair of headphones and a headset. Headphones are strictly just audio, whereas a headset offers you a microphone as well. And generally though, generally the best sounding head audio that you're gonna get are from headphones, because they're dedicated towards the music and sound. If you're a person who plays a lot of multiplayer games and you absolutely need that headset, I do recommend, I've shown you guys these on a previous video. These are the Sennheiser Game Zeros. These are the ones that I use when I play multiplayer games like Destiny. I've shown you guys these in a previous video. Once again, I enjoy the Sennheiser sound. They fit great, and yeah, I love them. So for the next item, we're still talking about sound, because all you audiophiles out there know that having the sickest pair of cans, the nicest pair of headphones or headsets, that is only half of the equation when you talk about sound. If you want that really rich, true-to-life music or sound, you need something to power those expensive headphones that you just bought. And in order to, for all my purposes, in order to get the greatest sound that I possibly can, I use something that is called a DAC or an amp. What a DAC is, it stands for Digital Analog Converter, and basically what it does is exactly what it sounds like it does. It translates all the electronic sound or music from your PC, your Xbox, your PlayStation 4, your Nintendo Switches, and translates them into sound or music that you can hear through your headphones. And don't get me wrong, onboard sound is okay, it works, but when you try listening to a game, a video game, or listening to music through a dedicated sound card or a DAC, it's just night and day difference. When you go back to onboard sound from like your PC, it honestly sounds like you're listening to something that's running through mud. It's just nowhere near the same. And once you try a dedicated music source, you will never go back. And the DAC that I use for my gaming experiences is one by a company called XDuo. These are the XD05s. What I like about them is that it's very portable. You can take it anywhere you want to go, even though I've strapped mine permanently to my desk. You can take it with all your other electronics. It has a pretty good battery to power and take on like a plane or a long trip. If that doesn't matter to you and you just want the regular 3.5mm jack, this is the one that I've been using for a while now. This before I replaced it with the XDuo. This is the Creative Sound Blaster. I think this is the X5. I would say even if you don't want to splurge on something like this isn't the most expensive one on the market, but still by no means cheap. Just do your research, look into more inexpensive ones, an inexpensive DAC or amp, and try it out. And trust me, like I said, you will never go back to dedicated sound ever, ever, ever again. The next item on the list is something for your ass. And we're not getting kinky here, I'm dead serious. It's for your ass and your back and your general well-being, because if there's anything on this gaming luxury list that you can buy, I will highly 100% recommend you buy this one. This would probably, if you're a person who spends all your time at a desk, you work at a desk for hours on, or if you're a person who games in a gaming chair or an office chair like myself, then this is probably the best investment that you're gonna make in your entire lifetime. I'm not gonna lie, this Aeron Herman Miller chair that I actually unboxed on the channel, it changed my life, because before, this is like my 4th office chair ever since I started this channel. I started with a cheap Costco one, I moved on to a one that I bought at Staples, and then I moved to a DX Racer, which the DX Racer chairs, they look cool, they look like a race car, they look awesome. They are not comfortable at all, I will tell you, they are not comfortable. I used it for like 2 years, and I was a miserable person for those 2 years. My back hurt, my butt was tight the entire time, it's just, yeah. And then I finally said, hey, I spent so much time at a desk, let's just invest in this really expensive chair. The range is well over $1,000 and we'll see where it goes. And it's, like I said, it's changed my life. I'm a much happier person. My back no longer hurts. My glutes are no longer tight. They fire correctly. One thing I will tell you though, it takes your body a bit to get used to this chair, because you have to get used to sitting properly. And I know that sounds funny, but with all those previous chairs that I listed, I found that I wasn't sitting correctly in one way or the other. And the first week of using this chair, I absolutely hated it because it was so uncomfortable and unnatural. At one time, my left leg was actually going numb because I was, for the first time in my life, I was actually sitting correctly, and that's what the chair is getting you to do. And it doesn't look like a comfortable chair because it doesn't actually have any padding, but just the way that the mesh is supported and how it's created, it just works so beautifully. And my back no longer hurts. Honestly, it doesn't hurt anymore sitting in this chair. I went with the black mesh, as well as in terms of size, there's like an A, B, and C side. I went with the biggest size of C. It's for the taller, more heavier set fellows. I'm not big or heavy or tall. I just really wanted a very wide chair, just so I could be a little more comfortable. I didn't really notice any difference between having the wider set chair or not. And I also sprung for the back lumbar support to really help my back out. I was struggling with a bunch of back pain for a while, but it really does help out. The one thing that I would say negative about this chair though is that it doesn't come natively with a headrest. This is actually, despite how it looks, it is a third-party one that I'll also link in the description, that's made to look like it's made by the company. It fits and snaps on the top very well, and now I have a headrest, and yeah, I absolutely love it. Like I said, if there's anything on this gaming luxury list, if you're a person who games like me in an office chair, I would purchase this one first, and then you can thank me later, because it's an incredible chair and it's changed my life. So the next item is for all you PC elitists out there, because I know you're out there, I love you. I know you sometimes hate me because I play PC games with a controller, but it actually works for console gamers as well, because you can use it as well and everything in between. But in order to play a video game, you need some sort of displaying device, either a computer monitor or television. And I'll be honest with you, for the first like 3 years of this channel, I was recording all my Let's Play walkthroughs on a gigantic 55-inch television and having my PC beside me. So I was kind of just always looking back and forth. And that's basically all I knew, and it was pretty sweet, I thought. But then I was actually watching the setup videos of a bunch of other YouTubers, and I noticed that for the majority of them, they had their consoles or the PCs directly in front of them on the PC that they're recording with. And it just made more sense, because you can monitor all your audio levels, your commentary, just make sure that everything is running smoothly. You're not constantly having your head on a swivel looking back and forth. So after the 3 years, I swapped over to this setup as well. And the monitor that I am currently using now is the Asus ROG Swift. It's the, let me look at this, PG279Q. It is a 27-inch monitor that runs at 1440p and with a frame refresh rate of 144 Hertz. You can turbocharge it to 165 Hertz if you want frames per second. I personally don't do that myself. What I love about this monitor is that at first it has G-Sync, so things just run smoother. It looks smoother with your NVIDIA graphics card. It runs at 1440p, which all my other monitors run as well. It is 27 inches, which is fairly large as well. And probably the more important thing is that it runs at 144 Hertz. And I'm gonna kind of like peel back the curtain a bit here and get into more the technical side of YouTube. But in general, for all the gaming stuff that I do, I always record at 60 frames per second, regardless of either the game runs at 30 frames per second or the game can run at 144 Hertz on PC. And the reason for having 144 Hertz, even though I am watching the game at 144 Hertz, I'm always recording at 60 frames per second. And the problem of having a monitor that only runs at 60 frames per second, you can always turn off VSync and everything like that, but then the thing looks terrible. If you have a monitor that runs at 60 frames per second, if it drops below that 60 frames at any time, it throws off the audio sync between your video and the audio. And then you have to run it through a software called Handbrake to kind of get everything to match up again. Having to skip that step of resyncing everything just saves me a whole bunch of time, and just having it run at 144 Hertz and never dropping below that 60 frames per second that I'm recording it, like I said, it just makes my life a ton easier. Next up on the list, we have the Xbox Elite controller, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat this in any way. Right now, currently as it stands, this is the best controller that you can buy today in the world. It just is. When I'm playing on PC, I'm using this controller, but when I'm not on PC, you guys probably know that my preferred platform is playing on PlayStation. I love the PlayStation 4 controller. I think is the most well-rounded, but this specific one is just the best. Honestly, it's just the best. At around 200 bucks, like I said, it's expensive, but there's just so many things that you can do with it. You can change how deep you have to press the trigger buttons for it to actually execute. You can pretty much remap every single button on the controller. If you want the X button to be the B button, go for it. If you want the B button to be the A button, easy, do it. You can change the joystick height and the joysticks with a set of 3 different ones that it comes default with. with the controller itself. And probably the biggest thing is on the back, you have 4 paddles, which once again, you can remap to basically any of the face buttons, even the bumper buttons as well. And you can set specific profiles. If you're playing between games, you can set the remapping to one profile and quickly swap over to a second profile if you're switching to another game. And the build quality is excellent. It feels sturdy in your hand. It has good weight to it, and the build quality is exceptional. You guys have probably seen my scathing SCUF review that I did like a year ago, and I basically told you the quality control on SCUF controllers is absolutely terrible. And for the most part, the controllers are pieces of shit and you should not buy them. You shouldn't waste your money on them. And yeah, if you're on Xbox and you are thinking of buying a SCUF controller, just save your money and buy this instead and you will be completely happy. So we're gonna keep supporting all you PC bros out there because we're gonna keep talking about PC peripherals. And in particular, we're gonna talk about a gaming mouse. And the gaming mouse that I've been using for several years now is the Asus ROG Gladius. And I've used it for so many years, they've actually released a second iteration of it, the Asus ROG Gladius number 2. Far from what I can tell, the only difference between the original one and my one, like most computer peripherals these days, it has RGB lighting, the newest one, and that's basically the only main difference. And mouses are probably the most difficult things to recommend to someone. You really have to actually get into a store, and hopefully they have displays out there that you can try it, because everyone's hand sizes are different, everyone uses different grips. But to give you an idea of what I use, I have a medium-sized hand and I use a fingertip grip, which means that the back of my palm never actually touches the mouse at all. It's constantly just moving around with my fingertips. And yeah, I have tried a whole ton of different mouses out there. The Asus ROG Gladius is one of the more expensive ones that you can buy on the market today. They're really, it's expensive, I'm not gonna lie. I've tried other brands as well, from Corsair, Razer. Don't buy Razer products because they are not made well. That's for another video, but yeah, steer clear of Razer products in general. As well, SteelSeries. SteelSeries actually is a good brand as well that I used for a while, but this Asus ROG Gladius has withstood the standard time. It has a sexy red glow to it. It looks awesome and it feels great, and yeah, I just like it. I like it a lot. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for my gaming luxury buying guide for 2017. Once again, all these 6 items that I have listed in this video, they are not cheap, and I will dare say they are probably not the best value of items that you're gonna buy. Value meaning what you spend to the actual performance ratio on this imaginary curve that I'm drawing for you guys. But what I can say is that if you have extra cash flow, you have that little extra green or equity, and gaming is really important to you. It obviously is for me because it is my career, and you want to invest a little bit more into it to get that better experience. All the stuff that I have listed, I have personally bought myself with my own money. It was not sent to me, and for the most part, all the stuff I've been using for several years now, and it's pretty much stuff that I'm still using today, just to give you an idea of how much I like them, their build quality, how long they will last. And yeah, that's basically it. I can't guarantee that if you purchase them, you'll absolutely love them, but you basically just have to trust me based on your experience with me, that if I recommend it to you, it will be a half decent product that you can kind of get behind. But on that, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to be doing another one of these videos where I'm going to be talking about the best value stuff that you can buy for your gaming to make your gaming experience better, which basically is probably, like I said, gonna be on the very sweet spot of that, what you spend to what you actually get in terms of performance. But that'll be for another video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. As always, if you enjoyed the video, quick thumbs up. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment box. And on that, thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a nice day.